everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name's Janice and I'm a Thermomix consultant. So today, let's do this. Let's go back to the beginning. Hang on. Not very good. I've been skipping ahead. Rightio. So it's Sunday afternoon and I'm cooking tea, and I wanted to use up a few things in my fridge. So I went. I've got recipes that I bookmark. I'm always reading through Cookie-Doo, looking at recipes, or even on the recipe community. You can make yourself an account and save recipes to collections so that they're easy to find. Me, on Cookie-Doo, I've got collections saved on recipe community, and I've got collections I've made on Cookie-Doo, but I also bookmark. So anything I think, that looks good, I should try that, I bookmark it. So one of the recipes I had bookmarked was a leek and ham tart. Now I had a couple of squidgy leeks in my fridge which I wanted to use up. I needed 350 grams. This is 2. So I've got rid of all the squishy bits, and this is what's left. And so that's how much I'm going to use. Might be less, might be more. I've also got a dozen eggs that need using up. So this one was a good one because it's got 4 eggs in it. So anyway, let's start cooking. It says to preheat an oven to 180 degrees, which is going on now, to lightly grease a tart tin. Now this is a flan dish that I've had for years. I have had tart tins over the years, but I keep coming back to this. This one, I love glass. They don't go rusty. They don't, the worst that can happen is break. This is one of those, the stuff that was, you're supposed to be able to drop and it doesn't break. I don't know if I've ever dropped this, but I'm not going to try it to see if that works. So I'll just put it there, and it says to set it aside. So it said we're making the pastry first, so we're going to put in 100 grams of unsalted butter. See, I keep telling myself I should weigh all this out, so I'm not wasting your time watching me weigh it, but then I don't. So rightio. Sometimes I do. Okay. Next, it says 200 grams of baker's flour. A 100 grams of ricotta. It says drained, well drained. So I think this one's a smooth one. I don't think it's not the, what do you call it? The like the cottage cheesy type one. So I'll just, if there's any liquid, I'll try not to put it in. Okay. 100 grams we want. Perfect. One teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, so for anyone here that's new, if you've got a Thermomix, you can make your own baking powder, and it's rice flour. You use white rice and turn that into rice flour. And once you have rice flour, you add bicarbonate of soda and cream of tartar. and you get baking powder. There is a recipe on Cookie Dough, and I have got a video on YouTube showing you how I do it, so I can link that down below. A teaspoon of salt, okay, and so this is the crust. When I make a quiche, I usually mainly make the all-in-one, the one that you cook. You mix everything together, you put it in, and then it separates out into layers. But I just thought this one looked interesting. I do love a nice buttery pastry. Okay, so transfer pastry onto a silicone bread mat and shape into a ball. Rightio. I've got a bit of a mess happening here. So, I'm really hoping that I don't have to wash the bowl. Wrap pastry in plastic wrap and place in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. So, okay, so that's a ball. Now I know it says plastic wrap, but I find that the silicone bread mat works well too. Okay, so then once it comes out, we transfer the pastry onto a silicone bread mat or floured work surface and roll out to a 2mm thickness, and then transfer in prepared tin. Now with this bread mat, it's actually has got a circle, so you can roll it out pretty well into a circle. So when we get that out, I'll have a look at my flan dish, and we'll just see how close to, if we can get that, if that measurement's on there or if that's bigger. Anyway, I'll pop this in the fridge and then, remove any excess pastry hanging over the edge and ensure there are no tears or holes. Prick the pastry base with a fork or pastry docker to prevent air bubbles and rising. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let's go back and we're going to put this in the fridge for half an hour, and I will be back then. I was going to keep going with the filling, but I can see there's lots of things going on. Righty, I'll be back. So that's that half hour up, and we've pulled this out, and we're going to go to, we've done the 30 minutes, 2mm thickness. So this, we'll just put this on here. So we want it just a little bit bigger than that outer circle, because we want some that'll go up the sides too. Ooh, that's nice and soft. And they want it about 2mm thick. So this Thermomat, it's actually one of the host rewards you can get for hosting a Thermomix demonstration, a cooking experience. So for those of you that don't know, if you host a cooking experience, there are host rewards available. And if one of your guests purchases a Thermomix from your party, you get to select your host reward for free. But if no one purchases, it doesn't matter. You actually get the same host rewards are on offer, but at a really good price. There's quite a fairly good discount on the host rewards. So it's the one of the only ways you can get a thermo server is by hosting a cooking experience. But I do love the this pastry mat as well. Rightio. Oh, I should see what it says, shouldn't I? Oh, transfer pastry into prepared tin. Let's put that out the way. So this is such a nice pastry. It is so soft. And I'm just going to squidge it into the pan. Now we've got to make sure that there's no holes in it. Rightio. Beautiful. Rightio, now it says we've got to so remove any excess pastry hanging over the edge. Now I just squidged it down. So I'm not a pastry trimmer at all. And then prick the base with a fork or a pastry docker. Okay. It's a bit hard to do in a round way. Just to prevent air bubbles and it, you know how the pastry, it all bubbles up. And we're also going to put some pastry weights in. So I've got a piece of baking paper, and these are my pastry weights. These are actually, I've had these for years and years, but they're actually from Thermomix. I don't know if they're still available, but I love them because you're not having to chase those little beads all over the kitchen. Rightio. So you can use pastry weights, or you can also use dried beans. I used to always have a canister that was full of dried peas when I was younger, and that's what I always used. They were the same ones every time. So we're going to blind bake for 15 minutes or until pastry is slightly golden. Rightio? I will be back in 15. Okay. Rightio, so we've got to remove the pie weights. That's hot. But that's how easy it is. And then remove the paper. You see we've got a beautiful flat pastry base, pie base. Righty-go. Now we're going to make the filling. So it says to clean and dry the mixing bowl. I'm not going to clean and dry the mixing bowl. It's got a little bit of flour in that, and then we're going to add 200 grams of Gouda cheese. Now I haven't got Gouda cheese, I've got Havarti. Hang on, I'll just grab it. So this is only 180 grams. So I'm not going to worry too much about the fact that it's not 200 grams. So you want it cut into pieces. I'm just going to cut into pieces. This is a softer cheese than Gouda, but it won't matter in the grand scheme of things. And we're going to give it a chop. I don't think I've got a bowl to put it in. 10 seconds, speed 5. I'm going to stop that. That was 5 seconds. Oh, that was 4 seconds. But you can really hear that it was getting small. I'll give it a little bit more. Okay, that was 5 seconds. And it says to transfer into a bowl and set aside. So I'm going to grab a bowl. So I really do use my ears for cooking, because with a soft cheese, if you chop it too much, you actually turn it into a bit of a paste. So we want it sort of into a crumbly grate. Clean and dry the mixing bowl. So let's just see what we're doing next. So we go to there's the next button, or the 3 little dots there. We can preview the recipe. So we go open preview, and it says 400 grams of water, and we're going to, rightio, I will clean and dry the mixing bowl. Okay, I'll be back. So it said clean and dry the mixing bowl. I did give it a rinse, but I didn't dry it too well because we're about to add water in there. So 400 grams of water. Now we're going to place the aroma in place. And 350 grams of leeks trimmed and cut into rings, about 5 millimetres. We got 187. Pop the lid on. So in this occasion we don't need the tray, we just need the bowl and the lid. 12 minutes, aroma, temperature, speed 2. Okay? So I will be back in 12 minutes. Okay, so now we're going to set the aroma aside. So how I do that is I usually just lift the dish off and sit it on the lid, and that stops any drips. So we'll set that aside. And now we're going to discard the water and continue. So I'll be right back. Now we'll start off with the cream. The only thing with being ready so early is I've pulled this stuff in and out of the fridge a few times, thinking we were going to, not realising we had another big step in between. So how I generally cook is I generally go click, click, and as it says cream, I'll go and get the cream, and then you go click, and then I'll go and get that. I'm not usually this organised. Okay. 4 eggs. 100 grams of ham cut into pieces. So this is what I had left over from my Christmas ham, which I cut off the bone and then just shredded in the Thermomix, and then we freeze it and use it. So 100 grams. So it says cut into pieces 2, oops, I just threw that all over the floor, 2 centimetres, but it is what it is. A quarter of a teaspoon of ground black pepper. Just got to wipe my hands. Half a teaspoon of salt. Pinch of ground nutmeg, which I'm not going to put in. Cheese. And I'm going to pop the lid on. 15 seconds in reverse speed 4. Now we're going to spread the reserved leeks into our pre-baked case. Oops. So I might just dump them in, then spread them once I here we can get a nice even layer across the bottom of the tart shell. Okay. Beautiful. Then carefully pour the cheese mixture over the leeks. might have to put that on a tray so in case it overflows. Now we're going to bake it for 35 minutes at 180 degrees or until set and golden brown. And I'll be back. Okay. So this is our tea for the night. Now we're having a light tea. So I'll probably just put a bit of lettuce and tomato, you know, just a quick plate salad together to go with it. But I'm going to cut a piece. Now it's still warm, but you can eat this hot or cold. So I don't know how easy this is going to be to get out of the dish, but we're going to find out together. Oh, look at that. Perfection. Right, we'll give that a little taste. I love how it's got all little bubbles of cheese on top, you know, where it's the cheese chunks have floated up and have melted into little bubbles. Anyway, let's give it a go. That is super nice. That pastry is beautiful. It is just, oh hang on, let's find the camera. It's just beautiful. That's really yummy pastry. I love sort of, you know, your real, I know I keep using the word buttery, but you know, that real buttery crunchy pastry, and that's what that is. Rightio. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please pop over to my channel and subscribe. And hang on. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Pop over to my channel and subscribe. And I really hope I'll see you next time.